All right. Welcome everyone to today's tips and tricks. This is the second for this year and the 13th edition overall. So welcome. Everyone is muted as usual on entry. Today we are looking at tips for research productivity in 2023, quality versus quantity. This is a very important session, and I hope that you will benefit from it. So, as usual, my name is Nwaru, and I am the convener of this platform. Please use the chat box to introduce yourselves. Today will be a lot of participation from you, okay? Because the issues we are discussing here, I would like you to reflect on it. The goal of these sessions is to eventually provide platform and opportunity for African scientists to increase their possibilities. As a person, I believe there is room enough for improvement in whatever I do, whether in my scientific career, in my personal life. And I believe that opportunities like this can support African scientists to reflect more on what they're doing and see rooms for improvement, and not only see rooms, but then have the tools for those pursuing those improvement. So the issues of productivity is important, and I believe that every scientist wants to be more productive. The issue of quality in research is very important, and I believe that every scientist represented here wants to have more high quality output. And then I believe that the issues of quantity is important. So today we are going to be looking at those and give some tips on how you can improve your productivity, enhance the quality of your research output, and then think more about quantity. All right. So once again, welcome, and I will share my slide and we move. Usually you want to have the slide. We're happy to share it, and I can share it getting to the end. Don't do it now. Getting to the end of the session. If you want to receive the slide, just put your emails there and we'll send it to you. Okay. All right. So this was this is the second edition for this year. The last edition we had, we looked at wolves in sheep clothing, and with the slide you're seeing there, we talked about it, what science is about. And I want to repeat it today. Several of the slides I presented last time, I want to repeat it because there is an overlap in some of the things I'm talking about today. So science is a way of discovering what is in the universe and how those things work today, how they worked in the past, and how they are likely to work in the future. The knowledge we generate through this process of observation and discovering can then be used to develop new technologies, treat diseases, and deal with many other sorts of problems the society face. This is important. It's a very simplistic definition, but it's important because there are some things you will find there, some key concept. Discovery, what is there? And when you make those discovery, you use that information. Yeah? And he said this information is powerful. It's powerful. That information is powerful. Because the houses we live today, the roads, the hospitals, the drugs, and all those are products of that information. But how you use that information is important. All right? And eventually, the context of all this is society. To make our society a better place, to make our society a happier place. So please take note of this. I'm repeating it because many times as scientists, we do not reflect on this process. We do not reflect, we do not appreciate the fact that that which you are doing in the four corners of your office, actually, the ultimate goal is to contribute to the society. All right. These perspectives are very important when it comes to the issues we're talking about today: productivity, quality, and quantity, and how you can become more of this in the year 2023. In the year 2024, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it, we can then begin to discuss other things, what we'll be doing. All right. What is its purpose? The purpose of science, purpose of research: ensure longer and healthier life, provide medicine, water, food, energy, fun, of course. And so science must respond to societal needs and global challenges. So if you're working in your research, if you're doing what you're doing, you are not thinking about these issues. How can my research be contributing to this? If you're not thinking in that direction, then it's problematic. So you're doing something eventually that will not have any value. Well, let me use that: any value, impact. All right. So we need to be valuable. All right. Now, who are scientists? You can go if you have kids who have not gone into the university. You can maybe they're in the very primary school, kindergarten. Ask them who are scientists. All right. It's someone who uses the process of science to find answers about how and why things work in the world and the observable universe. Science is not just facts. All right. It's a way we analyze facts. It's the process. Process is important. It is the how we do it, not the results we get. Okay? Yeah. How we ask the questions, how we find the answers to the questions, how we make use of the knowledge we generate, how we use the knowledge to solve human problems. What do? We ask questions, we predict, we watch, a whole of things. Just take an experiment. Call your kids and ask them, oh yeah, Dad, your mom is a scientist. What do you think we do? Then you begin to see answers that some of them may shock you, to see the level people expecting from you. All right. We are curious people. We are courageous. We are detail-oriented, creative, communicative. Oh, goodness me. And you have lots of qualities the society is putting on you. The question is, are these true of you? Are these the things you have? I've met many people. And you can see that during the last session, last edition, we talked about how not to and to do research in 2023. You can see that not every one of us appreciate these expectations. Not every one of us even pursue them. Some of us gather these things, this list, put them in a box and put them far under our bed in our house. We don't carry them where we go. We don't even want to hear about them. No, that is not what I want to do. That is not. We have ulterior motives. We have other agenda, and then that leads to all kinds of things, manipulations, and make things much more difficult. And we don't really fulfill the purpose. All right, so scientists, their work and qualities put them in a lofty position in the society. There is a high expectation. Any mistake brings down trust. All right, remember we are talking about productivity, quality, quantity of our research. So just to let you know that a lot is expected, and to whom much is given, much is expected. Are you ready to fulfill that in this year? Now, well, I have talked too much. So please take a picture of this. Take a picture of it. I will randomly send you to breakout session, and I'm going to give you a good amount of time. 20 minutes I will give you. 20 minutes I will give you each group to discuss. So group number 1 has the aspect of productivity. Group number 2 has the aspect of quality. Group number 3 has aspect of quantity. Please take a picture of this. I would like you to go. In addition to the questions I've posed here, you can bring other questions. All right, you can bring other issues and discuss them. Bring other issues and discuss them. I would like to send you, and then I will like you to discuss, and I will call you back at the time so that we can discuss these issues. So please take a picture of those, and we are going to discuss them when you come back. So please appoint somebody in your group who can take maximum of 3 minutes to present these issues. Okay, maximum of 3 minutes. When you return, appoint somebody in your group, maximum of 3 minutes, to give us a highlight of what you have discussed. All right, so I create and I will open the rooms. Please join the room you have been assigned. Join the room you have been assigned. And if you drop out of because of network and you join, let me know what room you belong so that I can send you to that room. Otherwise, it will be done automatically. So just let me know so that you can go back to your original room and continue the discussion there. So please join. The time is counting down now. 20 minutes. All right, so let's go to group number 1, please. Who is presenting for group number? Raise your hand, then I will give permission to unmute yourself. Group number 1. Who is presenting for group number 1? Is it you, Chioma? Or okay, John? Who is Chioma? Is it you? All right. Okay, John, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Prof, and good afternoon, everyone.
Good
I don't
afternoon.
know if it's possible to share our screen.
Yeah, you can share. You can share. You can share.
Let me know if the screen is visible.
Yeah, we can see that.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Yes, we tried to go as fast as we could, but we didn't get exactly all we wanted to. But we arrived at this, that for the first question, what is the research productivity? And we summarily described it as research productivity refers to the amount and quality of research output produced by an individual or a group within a certain period of time. And we said that it is measured in terms of the number of publications, citations, grants awarded, and other similar metrics. We had a second thought that is summed up to be the number of papers published per researcher, a group of researchers, or academic or research institution. For the second point, which centered on the purpose of research productivity, we came up with two striking points. The first being the purpose of ranking of individuals and organizations, and then the second to serve as an important measure of the productivity and impact of individuals and groups in research-oriented professions. And it helps to drive innovation and progress in various fields. And for the third question, well, we thought that for researchers to achieve productivity, they must have a clear goal. They must start early and complete what they have started. We also thought about collaboration, which is very important. And then in collaboration, this goal should be set and evaluated on a regular basis. So we also thought that it's not only coming to set goals, but we should limit those factors that take us away from our goals, which we describe as distractions. We should also prioritize our health, and then remember to take a break and avoid bad habits. For the third one, we missed that initially, which we were asked to outline the qualities of a productive researcher. We just had the point that you must be visionary and focused. And for the fifth point, we thought that the factors that affect productivity may include, not limited to, heavy administrative work, funding, time management, research skills and expertise, poor collaboration, institutional support, motivation, and a work environment. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much, group number 1. All right, let's go to group number 2. Who is presenting for group number 2? Please raise your hand. Raise your hand. Group number 2. Group number 2. All right, Joanne. Please unmute yourself and speak.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, good morning,
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much. So we were able to cover about I think the first 3 questions, we're able to discuss that in detail. So I'll just ask the first one. So what is quality in research? So we were able to come up with the following. I'm sorry, sharing my screen. I took notes, but I took it manually.
Just go ahead. Just go ahead.
Okay, so quality in research is ensuring that one conducts or follows the right procedures during research, and ensuring that ethical approval is sought when necessary, especially when making use of, or when humans will be the participants, when ensuring when the participants are humans and not, even for animal subjects, in some cases, ethical approval is actually required too, but ensuring that ethical approval is sought and obtained. How else can we ensure quality in research? Apart from abiding to the right procedures, also ensuring that the study is valid and reliable, ensuring the validity and reliability of the study. Quality, we said, is a reflection of the trust of the data, which ensuring that the data you get, the data, the findings are reliable, are valid. And it's also, a very important factor that also is very important is the researcher. Because if the researcher is very thorough and has everything, or has the knowledge and how to require it and how to carry out the research to affect to affect everything from the procedure to the findings to how the person is going to even the write-up, the publication to evolve, it will affect everything if the person is, if the researcher is thorough. Then the second question was purpose of policy in research. What is the purpose of policy in research? And we said the following points, I'll just run through them. It helps to inform certain policies. It helps in policy making and policy decisions. It serves when you have quality, when your research has high quality, it serves the template others can rely on. It ensures repeatability, it can be repeated. Then also grants and funding. One can require a right for grants or a request for funding if and once the people or the persons that are supposed to give the grant see that from the proposal, what they can tell that the quality is there's going to be high quality. There's the possibility of getting the grant is high. Then the third question, okay, we also said it can be published in reputable journals. If there's you have a quality, high quality, or the research carried out is high quality, then it can be published in high impact journals. Then the third question was how do researchers ensure pardon me, I'm just trying to go through that. Okay, yeah, the third question was how.
All right, so finish. You have 20 seconds.
Okay, so we need to be thorough. How do researchers achieve quality in research? And we said researchers need to be thorough in their research. They have to be knowledgeable, and they have to ensure they follow the right ethical principles. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Finally, group number 3, please, Nana.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. I'm representing group 3. Our questions, first question, what is quantity in research? And we said it's the amount of papers a researcher publishes in a year or in his career, or the number of research outputs by a researcher per time. The second question, what is the purpose of quantity in research? And we said the purpose varies from researcher to researcher. Some require it for career advancement. Others require the quantity in research to share experience with the world of science. Another purpose for quantity in research is for statistical purpose. Research is about identifying societal problems and proffering solutions. So the researcher is encouraged. So research encourages the researcher to achieve that by increasing the quantity of research. Sorry, it's not very clear. Then the last one, to determine the extent or magnitude of societal problems, to quantify or measure the extent of the problem so that the solutions or interventions can be laudable. The third question, how do researchers achieve quantity in research? So through measurements and statistical analysis, since quantity has to do with counts. And another way is in the quantity of their publications, through collaborations, networking with other researchers. By so doing, the output will be greater. The fourth question, how do you assess or measure quantity in research? Through research publications, where you have increased visibility, through citations of your published work. And it's a way, and then by the way, you contribute to a body of science and evidence. So those are the ways to assess and measure quantity in research. The last question, what factors affect quantity in research? The first factor we noted was funding, inadequate skill set by researchers, and inadequate resources, such as equipment needed to carry out research. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, thank you, all the groups. Thank you for the fantastic work you have done within the few minutes I've given to you, and it shows reflection. I don't know how often it is in your institute, in your department, in your centers, wherever you work, how much time you spend in looking at these issues to discuss things like productivity or productivity level. What does it even mean to have productivity in research? The quality of our research, the quantity of our research. It's not a rare discussion, all right? It's not a rare discussion. That can be problematic. And that is why I started by telling you what science is all about, who scientists are, what is our ultimate goal. because you can see things reflecting the definitions you have given and discussions you have provided here. All right, let me move on with my presentation. So this is typical research activity model. And what is here is that in the research process, you have input, you have output. All right. And the objective of the research activity is to produce new knowledge. And as I mentioned before, this new knowledge can actually be translated in different ways into making interventions that can be beneficial to the society, can be beneficial to our various disciplines of endeavor. All right. And if the ultimate goal of this activity is not the production of that knowledge that can be translated, then it has really failed from the outset. It has failed from the outside. Where I work here, I was recruited into a center we call a Center of Molecular and Translational Medicine. All right, that's the center we are. And you have people who are studying from the very minute molecules, animal models, and then to humans. People like me, we deal with human beings. And I remember when I was being recruited, and they interviewed me. I said, "What the recruitment here is about molecular and translational medicine, and their focus is actually on the molecular side and how that can be translated. But you are an epidemiologist. How do you think you fit into this?" Oh, I became a preacher that day. All right, because I prepared. I knew they would ask me that question, because many times when we talk about translation in the sciences, we think more of molecular animal models, molecular aspects. And I try to let them understand that what I do needs to be implemented. Okay? The output I get from my research needs to be implemented. And that process of implementation is translation in itself. Because you can't pick, for instance, I say that, well, one of my interests is to see how sex steroids, sex hormones in women, now we are moving to men, how sex steroids influence the development of asthma, because we have observed some interesting results in that aspect. All right, and then I will do my epidemiological investigations, calculate my risk. You can't just take, for instance, I call it risk ratio. Well, sorry, not every one of you knows this, but you can't just take the risk ratio and you begin to go to the clinic or you go to the society and use that. There should be a process of taking that and making it sensible and making it tangible and implementing that. All right. And so, well, they were happy to listen to my story and give me the position. It looks like they liked my story. So there should be a translation. And so when you start a research process, and you do not have the ultimate goal of how this can be used, then it's already defeated at the outset. So in the research, you have input, human resources, you researchers, your research groups, data collectors, those who make interviews, those who collect data. You have tangible input, like instruments you use to measure, the materials and so on. You have intangible ones, the knowledge you have gathered over time, the social networks, the economic, the grants and things like that. And then you put all this together. You recruit the patients, you recruit the participants. This is what you feed into that process. And what you get out is the new knowledge. And this knowledge can be intangibles, publications you make, patents gained, conferences, presentations, and intangible ones, the knowledge you can develop by offering services, using that knowledge to offer consulting services, and so on and so forth. And the knowledge that can be developed in changing what happens in the society, developing guidelines, policies, and so on and so forth. So this is typical the research activity model. But you know, when you're doing your research, you rarely think about it in this way. What for those who have gone through your PhD, rarely do you have such kind of even system they teach you what you do. This is what you do. This is our ultimate goal. But anyway, you are getting it for free here. Not just getting it for free. We want you to change the way you think. Production of new knowledge, therefore, has multiple input and multiple output character, as you can see from what I've shown. And this is influenced by the individuals. You see, the input can be corrupted in the process of getting the output, depending on who is doing it and how he's doing it, and your institutions, your country. And so you can see in the Western world, the level of quality is higher, the level of productivity is higher, the level of quantity is even higher than what happens in the developing countries because of individuals, the research groups, the departments, the institutions, the infrastructures you have there can influence how you implement the inputs, and then, of course, determine how the output come up. All right, let me run through this. Our time is running fast. I have 3 minutes. Let me see what I can cover. Please just borrow me five minutes of your time. What is research quality? You have defined it. And quality in general terms can be non-inferiority or superiority of something. All right. Being suitable for the intended purpose. I like this so much when we talk about quality as it relates to research. Being suitable, being able to influence what happens in the society. Standard of something when measured against other things. Degree of excellence, that is quality. And quality can also be relative. You can have high quality, and you can have low quality. And that is why I do not have anything that's you say it has no quality. So that is why I call it quality here. Of course, when we're talking about the issues, you're talking about high quality research. So quality research, what is intended purpose of the research? That will determine the quality of your research. If the intended purpose is for you to publish to get your promotion, it will affect your output, the quality of the work. It will affect how much time you spend in thinking about it, how much time you spend in implementing it. If your purpose is to get a promotion, but if your purpose is, I want to find something that can be useful for solving this problem I have found in my society, that will also influence your quality. True or false? I think that is true. That is the way it works. Okay. So high quality research are research that has added value to society, or research field, or the discipline that has an impact, that is transparent, that is accountable. Group number 2 mentioned ethical, is reproducible, and adheres to disciplinary standards. If you fail, I mean, this is not a choice of one. They all, and there may be others that are stipulated, that are locally stipulated, contextually relevant. If you fail in this, then it's a signal that your research is not of high quality. All right. Yeah, somebody mentioned when you have high quality research, there's a potential that it can be published in high impact journals. Yeah, that is clear. But in the last edition, we also saw some of the research published in the top journals that evaded the scrutiny of the researchers. They are very bad research, but they were able to be published in high quality journals. What is the problem? The problem is that a research is published in high quality journal does not define its quality per se. All right? It does not define its quality per se. So quality in itself is a measure of the whole research process. All right? So although the number of publications, H-index, journal impact factor, and so forth are relevant and may be taken as a measure of visibility and popularity, they are certainly not indications of neither intellectual value nor of scientific quality. You have to know that. So once you pick your paper, I publish in this journal, you have to know that this is not tantamount to the quality of your research. So quality research is not just ingredient of a publication per se, rather it is a reflection of the efforts put in the entire research process from question conception to publication. And so to ensure that your research has high quality, the different aspects of the research process need to have quality considerations. Quality considerations. If you falter in any of these, then you know that the relative measure of your quality has moved down. All right, quantity. Yeah, you define the amount or number of an entity, research output. Yeah, and this is expanded here. Journal publications, books or book chapters, number of patents you have developed and published, number of collaborations established, number of theses supervised, number of and amount of grants secured, number of mentees mentored, and that can go on depending on the context. What are some of the things they measure? So just counting those gives you the quantity. But one thing is that quantity, as we know it today, concentrate on counting those entities without any consideration of the quality. All right. So quantity is just counting without consideration of the quality. So, and in many cases, it is wrongly equated to productivity. Yes, you can see that group number one, to an extent, mixed it up too, and that is what is reflected here. That quantity is wrongly equated to productivity, and that is the core thing here to this today. You see, I've been preaching without getting to the core of the matter, because what we're talking about today is productivity. How can you enhance your productivity in 2023? So research productivity, even though it's equated to quantity, research productivity is actually efficiency. And the formula I have in front of you here, for you to have productivity, you have to have, and group number one reflected this as well, quality research times quantity. Okay? And so you know what quality is. Quality connotes doing things properly throughout the research process, and times quantity. You don't only focus on quality, but sometimes you incorporate quantity, and these two aspects will give you your productivity. This is not your typical definition. Go around, you see that this is not usual reflection, but that is what I want you to get out. When you set out to this year to do your research, you need to think about quality, you need to think about quantity. All right, so this was the same slide I showed you last edition, and I'm bringing it up again. Tips for productivity in 2023. Know who you are as a scientist, know your purpose, know your mission, know where you're going. Pursue research that has value and that has impact. Get relevant training where you lack it. Are you pursuing career, trying to solve your career problems, get your promotion, carry your certificate, hang it on the wall? Or are you trying to solve this what society has? All right, focus on process and not results. Collaborate far and near. Practice reproducibility. Be ethical in your research. Stand the scrutiny of peers. Don't be afraid to fail. Ignorance is not a curse. Brings excitement or surprises. And have passion for what you do. All right, finally, make SFI your best friend this year. All right, now I've finished the tips here, and I want to tell you what we have been SFI this year. Our theme is quality, productivity, and impact. And we have developed this new course. It's published and you have it. Application is still going. Many of the things we have discussed here, well, it's just a tip. We are going to spend 12 weeks of going into detail to really provide you motivation and the tools to achieve quality, productivity, and impact. All right. So this course, we will go through a lot of things, and we'll go through each of the research process and show you how you can think and implement quality in the research process. The goal is that then you can undertake a research. When it comes out, it will stand the test of time. Okay, so please, if you have not applied, the application is still going on for that course. So please do that and join the bandwagon. We know that it's going to be 12 weeks of excitement. All right, so the next tips and tricks will be around visibility. Visibility. Many people are struggling with the visibility. How can I be visible? All right, and so please, if you want to get this presentation for today, just quickly write your emails on the chat box and we'll share that with you. So this is coming up on the 31st of March. So please join us. How do I increase my visibility? How do I become visible as a researcher? And our science seminar series, the second edition for this year, is taking place next tomorrow on Sunday, and we'll be looking at journal publishing in the medical, health, and biomedical sciences. We are going to be having lots of panel discussions. On Sunday is going to be, we're inviting those in the panel from these areas to let us know what is happening in Africa in this area and what are the barriers. How can African scientists in this area increase their competitiveness? How can donors improve? Please join us. It is through these exposures you also learn and become better. And this year is already packed with lots of activities. And for those who have, so this is the flyer for the course that the registration is going on now. If you have not registered as SFI member, please do so. Do so. You have lots of benefits you'll be getting from doing that. Some of you have registered, you have not paid your membership fee. I tell you, we don't consider you as members yet. So do the needful so that you can join us, because the first General Assembly of SFI members has been planned on the 15th of March. All right, it has been planned. There we have lots of things we'll be discussing. We're going to set up lots of programs, exciting programs for members. And so please, if you have not joined, if you have not registered, please do so that you can be part of this movement. Don't be left out. And it is good to start in time. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, worthy, and wise. That is the way they say it. It has been there before I was born. It didn't start with me, and that is the way it is. So join early, and that gives you a happy face. So, because I mentioned before, there are different benefits you can get from there. Go to our website and you find more information. All right, so thank you for today, and I hope that you have gained something from this 1 hour. Sorry, I've taken much of your time. All right, I think I can unmute. You can unmute yourself if you want to say something.
Hello, Prof.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon from Ghana. This is Oscar. It's a long time.
Yes, Oscar. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. When I look at the payments for those who are members of ASFI, I realize that the payment method are only for Nigerians.
No. For which one? For membership or for course?
For the membership registration membership.
No.
Tried to download the app, but they were requesting for a whole lot of information that perhaps we those in Ghana may find difficult to.
No.
be
I mean,
part of.
people have applied and paid from every part of Africa.
What
Oscar.
modality did they? What modality did they use?
The same system. So now, if you have issues, just get in touch with us, and we'll clarify that with you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
Hello, Prof.
Yes, please, Kellen.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prof, for this presentation. Quite an informative one. We will organize sort of a group membership from Kenya, and I'll be sending you an email to let you know what we are planning. Thank you so much for all your support and everything. And
That's
if you
great.
allow at this point, I wish Nigerians happy voting on Saturday.
Yes,
And
we
please,
need your prayers.
yes.
Great. All right. Any other person wants to say something? Otherwise, I wish you a very lovely weekend, and you will get the slides over this weekend. Okay.
Prof, I just want to say thank you again on behalf of everyone. We are grateful for the good works you are doing. I can only pray for good health and the prosperity for you and for the entire ASFI team. Good luck with the Nigerian election.
Thank you. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Prof.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Prof. Even for allowing to share the slides.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.